All right, so homework 12 is the beginning of chapter 2. I don't think I can write with that. It is going to take you back on this first question into that dark green section that was actually the arithmetic review, but you know, they move stuff around and whatever. So this is now in chapter 2, but it's still in the first slice of your pie chart. It says, on a survey, 6 students reported how many minutes it takes them to travel to school. Here are their responses. 7, 12, 4, 16, 4, and 6. We want to find the mean travel time for these students. Mean is your fancy math word for finding the average of something. When you find the average, you add your numbers together, find that answer, and then divide by how many numbers are on your list. So in this case, we're going to start by doing 7 plus 13 plus 4 plus 16 plus 4 plus 6. If you want to use your calculator, you can use your calculator, but this list happens to be easy enough to add. 7 plus 13 is 20. 4 plus 16 is also 20, and 4 plus 6 is 10. So 20 plus 20 plus 10 is 50. You do want to make sure you get that sum before you try to divide, because if you punch in your list and just do divided by 6, it's going to follow the order of operations and only do 6 divided by 6. So we need the 50 first, then we're going to divide that by 6. That you probably want to do on your calculator, because most of the time it's not going to come out to a nice whole number. I can tell that because it tells me I have to round my answer. So on your calculator, if you do 50 divided by 6, you come up with 8.3333 and so forth. We want to round to the nearest tenth. The tenth spot is how many places after the decimal? Just one. So I look here, I look at the number behind it, it's less than 5, so I just drop those off. So 8.3 is the average time. So when you find the mean, when you get your answer, you want to kind of look, is 8.3 somewhere in the middle of that list? Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle of that list. If I would have got 80, I would know I did something wrong, because 80 is way bigger than all the rest of my numbers, right? And the average should be somewhere in the middle of your list. I'm going to move that up for number 2 here. So, a pet store has 8 cats. Here are their weights in pounds. Go ahead and start adding. 11 plus 8 plus 13 plus 10 plus 12 plus 13 plus 11 plus 12. I'm not going to add it. I'm going to let you guys add it. 90? Everybody getting 90? You're the only one who did it. So I'm going to take 90 and I'm going to divide that by 8, because we had 8 numbers on our list. And we take 90 divided by 8, it comes up with 11.25. If I round that to the nearest tenth, then I'm going to round it off to 11.3, because there's a 2 in the 10th spot, but there's a 5 behind it, so I've got to round it up. So 11.3. So again, and I look and say, oh yeah, 11.3 is somewhere in the middle of the list of numbers. Looks like it should be the right answer. So go ahead, do number 3 there. I'm going to take a bite of my hot pocket, because when it cools off it gets kind of crunchy. So when you added all 7 of those numbers together, you came up with
73.
72?
73.
73. 73. You divided it by
7
students, and 73 divided by 7 gave you
10.4285713.
And if I round that to the nearest tenth, then I'd give my answer as 10.4. Which which again is somewhere in the middle of my list, between the highest and lowest numbers anyway. And so it looks like a good answer.